Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this space. If this is your first time here, this is Divine Guidance, a channel where we explore life, love, spirituality, and the powerful flow of the law of attraction. Today's reading feels a little different from the usual. Before creating this video, I received a very strong intuitive message that this one would be quite unique. I have never expressed this so directly before, but what I'm sensing is that if you have come across this video and you feel an immediate connection or inner pull toward it, that's not by chance. It feels as though another soul or their higher self has intentionally guided you here. The messages that come through in this reading are being energetically delivered on behalf of someone who, in the physical world, feels unable or too fearful to express these feelings directly to you. I'm getting the image of a message being carried across distance, like a note sent into the universe, hoping it will find the right person. This video feels like that message quietly sent, trusting that you would somehow sense it, discover it, and receive it at the right moment. For reasons that may become clear during the reading, this person doesn't feel capable of reaching out to you themselves. With that intention set, I'm going to begin by shuffling the energy oracle cards. The first question I want to explore is, who is this person that feels compelled to send this message to those who are drawn to this reading? As this is a very uncommon and soul-led reading, the card Door to Personal Healing and Happiness suggests that this individual has played a significant and meaningful role in your healing journey. Their presence, past or present, appears to have deeply influenced your growth and emotional transformation in some way. I'm sensing that this person came into your life during a very different phase of your journey. At that time, you were in a space where their presence offered you a kind of quiet, unspoken, spiritual or emotional support, perhaps without them even realizing the impact they were having. In doing so, they left a lasting impression on you. However, the version of you they knew back then is not the same person you are today. It feels as though the two of you crossed paths on an entirely different timeline. You have grown, shifted, and evolved significantly since then. What's interesting is that this card is also pointing to their current state. This person now appears to be moving through a healing journey of their own, just as you were beginning an important chapter of growth when you first met them. They are now stepping into a similar phase emotionally, spiritually, or both. I'm hearing that they have recently started making meaningful changes in their life. They are shaking things up, breaking old patterns, and committing to personal growth, whether you are aware of it or not. For many of you, there may be no direct communication with this person anymore, yet you might have felt an energetic shift around them. It is possible that this inner transformation created a subtle ripple, something that caused them to cross your mind unexpectedly, appear in your dreams, or surface in your awareness without any obvious reason. There is a strong parallel here between the journey they are now beginning and the one you were on when your paths first aligned. Whether it was a spiritual awakening, emotional healing, or a deep process of self improvement, their soul seems to be walking a similar road now. I'm picking up that their soul is almost curious, observing how you managed to grow, heal, and transform the way you did. On a subconscious or energetic level, it feels as though they are trying to draw wisdom from you, tapping into that shared spiritual space where we are all connected. They truly see you as someone deeply insightful. Words like wise and even savvy are coming through. They view you as highly intelligent, thoughtful, and grounded, someone who understands life on a deeper level. What I'm picking up on is that this person feels a strong desire to understand the way you think, almost as if they want to explore your mind. Yet, at the same time, there is a hesitation or even intimidated about reaching out to ask you how you gained your spiritual insight, how you see certain things, or what your beliefs truly are. They view you as someone with incredible depth, like a living archive of wisdom, whether that knowledge is intellectual, emotional, or spiritual in nature. There is a sense that they long to engage in a meaningful exchange with you, to share ideas, ask questions, and explore spiritual concepts together. With the door to spirit energy present, this feels like a conversation their soul wants, even if their human side holds them back. It's interesting because this card feels dynamic, almost restless. I'm getting the impression that they have been going in circles internally, turning these thoughts over and over in their mind. There's something unresolved in the way they feel toward you on an energetic and spiritual level. Whether this connection is romantic or platonic, for many of you, I'm sensing that romance is or once was part of the story. There are lingering emotional threads here, like remnants of a love that hasn't fully faded. Even if there is a distance now, those feelings seems to echo through time. Beyond emotion, there is a strong spiritual curiosity. This person can't quite explain why you affected them so deeply, but they know you did. You left a lasting imprint on them, and despite time passing or physical separation, they still find themselves thinking about you. They appear to be very tuned into your energy, aware of you on a soul level. That awareness only fuels their curiosity further, creating a quiet but persistent pull toward you that they haven't been able to ignore. This person is genuinely questioning the significance of the bond you share. As I'm tuning into this energy, three cards seem to jump out almost unexpectedly. At first, it felt random, easy to miss, but then it became clear that this wasn't accidental at all. And the reason I'm sharing that moment is because it mirrors the energy of this connection. It's something that, on the surface, may have seemed easy to dismiss or overlook in the physical world. Yet, beneath that, there has always been a quiet but persistent feeling that there was more to it, something meaningful that was never fully explored or allowed to unfold. It feels like that potential timeline was never lived out in reality, and because of that, the connection didn't simply fade away. Instead, it lingered, continuing to pull at both of you on an energetic level. Just as I almost brushed past those cards, this person may have tried to minimize or mentally move on from this bond in the past, but no matter how much they attempted to set it aside, it keeps resurfacing. That lingering presence has now led them to question whether this connection held far greater importance than they initially realized. I'm also sensing that you stepped into a new chapter of your life, a fresh beginning where you became more empowered, more confident, and more aligned with your true self. In doing so, there was a physical separation, whether by choice, circumstance, or natural progression. You had to move forward, and this person was unable to follow you on that path at the time. I'm hearing that they missed you deeply, far more than they ever expressed aloud. Those feelings remained unspoken, tucked away beneath the surface. It's almost as if you shifted onto a stronger, more fulfilling timeline for yourself. And that shift required leaving this connection behind in the physical sense. Yet energetically, the bond never truly disappeared. I'm sensing that when this person first entered your life, you may have been moving through a particularly difficult phase. During that time, they seemed to offer you support, sometimes openly, sometimes simply through their presence, as you were just beginning an important chapter of growth. However, That path eventually carried you forward into a space where the old timeline, the one where the two of you were closely connected, could no longer continue. And when you stepped away from that shared path, this person felt your absence very deeply. On a soul level, though they understood, they recognized that you weren't leaving them, you were answering your own calling. They saw that this shift was necessary for your evolution, and they admired the courage it took for you to choose a new beginning and align yourself with healthier, more supportive connections. This person has always held a gentle care for you, a quiet warmth, and an ongoing curiosity about who you are. Much of this was never spoken out loud and acted upon in the physical world, yet energetically it was always present there. You may have sensed it too, like a steady signal, a soft energetic pull that never fully faded. Whenever this person crossed your mind, there was a feeling of warmth surrounding them. That feeling came from the care they carried for you then and the care they still hold now. It feels as though part of this message is simply that, a desire for you to know that this warmth, this regard never truly disappeared. We have spent a lot of time exploring who this person is, but now the bigger question is, why are they showing up again at this moment? I'm feeling that this has everything to do with the parallel phase they are moving through in their own life. As they walk this path, a curiosity is awakening within them about conversations and truths that were never fully shared when the two of you were more closely connected in the physical world. There are things that remained unspoken on that earlier timeline, topics, emotions, and deeper understandings that never had the space to surface. And now that unfinished energy is rising again. So I want to move directly into the lover oracle and invite clearer messages from their soul. What is it that they are trying to communicate now? Why is their energy coming through so strongly in today's reading? The first message coming forward is, why would someone like you ever choose me? There is a sense of disbelief here, as though they have always placed you on a higher level, questioning their own worth in comparison. Another message follows. I have had to keep my true feelings hidden, and with this, I'm feeling that those emotions were never released. They were simply pushed aside, kept quiet, lying dormant beneath the surface rather than being resolved or expressed. These feelings didn't disappear, they waited. That warmth and admiration were always there. If this connection carries romantic energy, it feels like they may have convinced themselves for a long time that what they felt was simply friendly or platonic, but now they are beginning to realize that those feelings were romantic all along, with messages like, why would I ever be worthy of someone like you? And I need to understand myself. There is a clear sense of self doubt here. Another strong message coming through is, if I could revisit the past, I would approach our connection very differently. I'm also feeling the intensity between you, the attraction, the emotional pull. It never really faded. Life without you has felt heavy for them, almost colorless. I'm hearing that they deeply miss your light, your presence, and the way you made them feel seen. There is also message around not feeling believed in or supported by others, as though they struggled internally and didn't feel understood. All of these messages together paint a very clear picture. What's striking is that usually I interpret these message cards in a more symbolic or abstract way, but right now, I feel an overwhelming sense that many of these words are exactly what this person wishes they could say to you directly. And that makes complete sense because the foundation of this reading is a soul level message, something their higher self is trying to communicate to you. As I'm saying this, I just noticed a horn honking nearby, and symbolically, that feels very important. You honk a horn when you are trying to get someone's attention and there is no other way to reach them. And that's exactly how this energy feels right now. Like this person is calling out, hoping you will notice, hoping you will hear them through this reading. It's almost ironic because in some cases they may actually have a way to contact you in the physical world, yet energetically it feels like they don't know how to reach you. So instead, their soul is finding another way to be heard. For some reason, they still feel unable to reach out. There is a sense of restriction around them, almost as if something is holding them back. And I feel this ties directly to the realization of just how deep their feelings for you truly were all along. I'm hearing that they are now allowing themselves to internally explore what they feel for you. It's as though a barrier they once kept firmly in place has started to dissolve. In the past, even within their own mind, they didn't permit themselves to fully acknowledge or examine those emotions. On that earlier timeline, whenever deeper feelings for you began to surface, they would immediately build emotional walls. They shut themselves down mentally, redirecting their thoughts before anything could fully form or be felt. But something has changed. Those walls no longer seem to work. It's like an internal threshold has been crossed, a point of no return. They can't put those barriers back up the way they once did. Now, when you come into their thoughts, which seems to be happening quite often, they are confronted with the full depth of what they felt for you all along. They are realizing that these emotions were always there, quietly present, even though they never allowed themselves to go that deep before. This awareness feels new, intense, and unavoidable. They are beginning to recognize how often they put emotional walls up in the past, and now, with those walls lowering, they are becoming deeply aware of just how much light you brought into their life. I'm hearing that there was something about your presence, something natural and effortless, that seemed to brighten every space you entered. When they look back now, they view the times they spent with you or the periods when your lives were more closely aligned through a very nostalgic lens. Those moments stand out as some of the happiest, even unexpectedly joyful times of their life. What they are realizing in hindsight is why those memories feel so warm. It wasn't just the circumstances, it was you. Your energy left an imprint on those moments. Your presence infused those memories with light. I'm also sensing specific places, their home, their living environment, or even a workplace. Whether you physically visited these places or simply shared time within them, your energy seems to have lingered there. These were places they occupied often, and when you were part of that environment, it left a lasting energetic impression, one they are only now fully recognizing. Looking back, they are beginning to see just how powerful your light truly was, how much it illuminated their world and quietly shaped the spaces they moved through during that time. They are also realizing that you supported them in subtle ways. You understood them on a level that few others ever did. There was a sense of being seen by you, of being gotten without having to explain themselves. And this awareness feels especially relevant now because they are currently on a path of self growth, healing, or inner development. In the past, it didn't affect them as much that others around them didn't truly understand who they were because they themselves weren't yet trying to understand their own inner world. Now that they are, the contrast feels much clearer. What I'm picking up now is that in the past, this person may have been trying to escape their own reality in different ways. This could have shown up as unhealthy habits, destructive cycles, or emotionally draining dynamics. When the two of you were more closely connected on that earlier timeline, they weren't fully present with themselves, and that avoidance played a big role in why they never allowed themselves to explore their deeper feelings for you. Escaping inwardly also made it easier for them to stay in environments, relationships, or situations that didn't truly nourish them, places where they weren't genuinely seen or supported on a deeper level. But now, as they move through this parallel journey of self improvement, healing, self discovery, and reconnected with their authentic self, their awareness has shifted. They are starting to notice how few people around them actually see who they truly are or care to support them beyond the surface. There is a deep exhaustion here. Surface level connections no longer satisfy them, whether it's friendships, co workers, family dynamics, or even a current romantic situation. They are realizing that many of these bonds lack depth. For some of them, this realization is especially strong in romantic contexts. They may be dating or involved with someone who only understands them superficially. And through that contrast, your energy stands out even more clearly. They are recognizing that you had a rare ability, the ability to look beyond appearances, beyond roles, and truly see them. You understood them in a way that others never quite did, and it is only now, through comparison, that they fully grasp how special that was. This process of looking back, seeing the past through a clearer, more honest lens, is stirring a lot of emotion within them. There is a grief, longing, and truth surfacing all at once. I keep hearing themes of purification and release, words like clearing out, getting clean, sobering up, whether literal or symbolic. It feels like they are shedding old layers and finally facing themselves without numbing or distraction. And in that clarity, your light becomes impossible for them to ignore. I'm not sure if this is meant literally. For some, it could point to substances or habits they have consciously removed from their life. For others, this feels more emotional and internal. It's like they are no longer allowing themselves to numb out. They are forcing themselves to see clearly, to feel fully, and to face emotions they avoided for a very long time. This is someone who feels deeply confined by the life they built during a period when they weren't fully aware or aligned with themselves. I'm hearing a strong sense of feeling trapped, not necessarily by circumstances alone, but by choices made from a less conscious version of who they are now. They appear to spend a lot of time feeling isolated, even when people are physically around them, even if they are sharing space with someone romantically. There is a profound sense of loneliness. It is as if their soul is waking up inside their body, and with that awakening comes an awareness of how disconnected they truly feel on a deeper level. That is the clearest way I can describe it. With the judgment energy coming through, there is a strong theme of self reflection. They are evaluating their life honestly, taking stock of where they are, who they are connected to, and what still feels authentic. There is a reckoning happening here, an inner review that's impossible to ignore. And I want to be clear, this part won't resonate with everyone, but for some of you, this person may currently be involved in a romantic connection, or they may have been in a long term relationship, possibly even living with someone. If that applies, it feels like this realization is hitting them especially hard as they are questioning not just themselves but the foundation of the relationships they have built. Everything about this energy speaks to awakening, accountability, and a deep inner questioning that's unfolding right now. With the Two of Cups reversed showing up, I'm sensing that they are coming to a powerful realization. On the surface, their current or past connection may have made logical sense, it may have looked right on paper, but on a soul level, there was a deep mismatch. And it is this awareness that seems to be pulling them back toward you, reopening feelings they never truly allowed themselves to acknowledge before. Now you are coming through as the Queen of Pentacles in their eyes. And what's interesting is that when they first met you, it feels like you were still in the process of stepping into this energy. You were already becoming her, but now you have fully embodied it. I'm hearing that you have reached a significant level of alignment with your highest vibrational path. Not that your growth has ended, evolution never really does, but it's as if you have anchored into a powerful version of yourself, a version that feels grounded, confident, abundant, and deeply self possessed. That's exactly what the Queen of Pentacles represents here. I'm also intuitively seeing the Empress energy around you. Many of you may resonate with the divine feminine regardless of gender. You have learned how to tap into a naturally magnetic, creative, and thriving expression of who you are. There is an ease to it now, a flow. What's striking to them is this contrast. Even though you carry an aura of abundance and inner stability, you remain incredibly gentle, nurturing, and caring toward others. There is a softness in you that hasn't been hardened by your strength and that leaves a deep impression on them. I keep sensing that they are currently in a very harsh environment. This could be emotional, relational, or romantic. For some, it feels like they may be with someone who is cold, critical, or emotionally unavailable, someone who doesn't truly support them or see them beneath the surface, and being that energy is making them reflect on you even more. The comparison happens naturally. Your warmth, your compassion, and the way care flows from you without effort stand in stark contrast to what they are experiencing now. That contrast is awakening something in them they can no longer ignore. What I'm hearing from their energy is a combination of qualities: kind, radiant, and deeply powerful, yet grounded in confidence. You seem to embody all of this so naturally, and that balance is exactly what stands out to them. I know this reading is moving closer to the 20-minute mark, but I don't feel finished here. There is a still more that wants to come through. It feels as though a barrier has finally given way, like a reservoir of emotions that's been held back for far too long is now starting to pour out. As I reshuffle the cards, I want to mention this. If this message is resonating with you and you are feeling drawn to clear the energetic blocks between you and this person, I'm being shown strong activity around the throat chakra and the solar plexus. That makes a lot of sense. This person struggles with expressing what they truly feel, finding the words, speaking their truth, and that difficulty seems tied to an imbalance in confidence and personal power. The solar plexus energy feels shaky but not stagnant. What's important here is that they are actively working on themselves. They are on a path of growth, learning to open up, to communicate more honestly, and to step into their voice with great courage. This feels like a process that's unfolding, not something that's stuck. So I'm going to reshuffle the entire deck and allow whatever else wants to come through from this person's energy. It really feels like once they begin to open up, everything they have been holding inside for so long is going to spill out all at once. There is so much that's been suppressed here. I'm drawn now to the What's the Vibe Oracle, and the first energy coming up is antisocial. This feels very much like hermit energy, not because they dislike people, but because they have turned inward. We also have themes around being in their feelings, silence, and feeling left out. This person admires you deeply in the strength and confidence you are now embodying, but at the same time, they feel excluded from this new chapter of your life. There is a strong curiosity here, wondering what's been happening with you, how you have been, and a desire to finally have a real conversation with you. At the bottom of the deck, we have isolation, almost like further confirmation. They are choosing to withdraw, even though in many cases they aren't actually alone. Some of them may have people physically around them quite often, yet emotionally they feel detached. This isolation feels intentional. They are sitting with their emotions, processing everything they once avoided, and it's because they are ready to move beyond the old version of their life. The world they built before came from a place of avoidance, running from their true feelings. Now that they are finally reconnecting with those emotions, they are preparing to rise above that old timeline. With daydreaming coming through, it explains the strong sense of nostalgia. Their mind keeps drifting back, replaying memories, imagining conversations, wondering about what could have been. It feels like they are mentally and emotionally preparing themselves to step into a higher, more aligned version of their path. This energy speaks of transition, leaving behind what no longer fits and slowly awakening to something more authentic. And this explains why they have been drifting into daydreams about you, revisiting the past, replaying moments, and wondering about what might have been. There is a strong sense of nostalgia here. The envy energy coming through is interesting. For many of you, this doesn't feel like their emotion directly. We also have legal showing up, which tells me this won't apply to everyone, but for some, there may be another romantic figure involved in their life. If that's the case, it feels like this other person can sense what's happening. They may be picking up on the fact that this person is emotionally and energetically focused on you, reminiscing, comparing, and reconnecting with your energy on a soul level. With the legal energy present, this could point to a marriage, shared property, financial ties, or some kind of formal commitment. There is a feeling of red tape here, complications that make separation feel messy or overwhelming, not necessarily because of love, but because of practical or logical entanglements. Now, with love affair and burnt bridges coming through, I'm sensing a major internal shift. Trust feels fractured. It's almost as if a bridge is being crossed or burnt, but not outwardly yet. This is happening emotionally and energetically first. They are reaching a point where they can no longer ignore their truth. Even if nothing has changed physically, something has already shifted within them. A door is quietly closing behind them, and another is beginning to open. Whether they are ready to act on it yet or not, this feels like the beginning of an ending and the ending of a beginning happening beneath the surface. Very interesting. I'm sensing that for some of you, and this will be very specific, so listen carefully. They are beginning to detach energetically from the version of themselves that stayed connected to this person, to this other person. This won't resonate with everyone, but for those it does, it feels very clear. I'm picking up that the other person in their life can feel your presence energetically, even if there is no communication between you and this person right now. It's as though your energy is still surrounding them, their thoughts, their emotions, their inner world. So much of it keeps drifting back to you. They are thinking about you often, replaying memories, imagining conversations, daydreaming. At the same time, this is being kept very private. They are not expressing this openly yet. It feels like they are still trying to mentally sort through everything, figuring out how to logically untangle a situation that feels emotionally overwhelming. But energetically, the shift has already happened. Their focus, their emotional gravity is moving toward you, and if there is someone else currently in their space, that person can sense it too. They can feel the change even if nothing has been said out loud. I keep getting the impression that this other individual may carry a much harsher or colder energy toward them. But when compared to you, the Queen of Pentacles energy you embody, the contrast becomes undeniable. You come through as naturally nurturing, gentle, supportive, yet deeply strong and grounded within yourself. And it feels like this person around them wishes they could embody what you carry so effortlessly, but it's simply not aligned with who they are. That's where the envy energy is coming from. It is not just jealousy, it's comparison. It is the awareness that what you offer energetically can't be replicated, and that realizing is creating tension not outwardly yet, but very strongly beneath the surface. So let's turn now to the traditional tarot and see what else this person may be feeling in the present moment and whether there is anything more they want you to know. The Five of Wands is showing up here, and there is a strong sense of tension around them. I'm hearing the phrase tense silence. This could reflect inner conflict, or for some of you, ongoing friction with someone currently in their environment, especially if there is a romantic connection involved. Then we have the Ace of Swords, which speaks of clarity, fresh perspectives, and new ways of thinking. This feels significant. I'm sensing that this person believes they are finally seeing things clearly, almost for the first time in a long while. I'm hearing something like, I can finally think straight again. For some of you, a specific time frame may resonate, possibly years of confusion lifting all at once. With this clarity, it feels like they have entered a kind of passage, a tunnel of transformation, and within that image, you appear as the light ahead of them. It is as if the memory of your energy, your presence, is guiding them forward through this darker, uncertain phase. They don't yet know where this path will lead, they only know they are being drawn toward that light. On a higher level, this doesn't automatically mean a physical reunion. For some of you, your soul's essence, the imprint you left on them, is simply acting as a guide through their awakening. You may be helping them evolve without ever needing to re enter their life in a tangible way, especially if reconnecting isn't something you desire. For others, though, it could be more literal. It may be that once they complete this inner journey, once they move through this period of growth and self realization, there is the potential for an actual reconnection, if that aligns with what you want as well. Right now, it feels like they are using your energy as a compass, spiritually rather than physically, allowing it to lead them forward without reaching out just yet. I truly hope this reading has brought clarity or comfort to those it was meant for. I don't feel this is the last time this particular energy will come through. So if you like to continue following this thread, you are welcome to stay connected with the channel. This message feels very specific, likely meant for a particular group rather than everyone. And if it found you, trust that there was a reason. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll connect with you again in the next reading. Thank you so much.